Federal money for critical mineral projects supporting what the government calls a clean economy. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Ottawa announced nearly $14 million for critical mineral projects in our region today.
The funding is earmarked for lithium and other mining projects near Armstrong, Red Lake, Marathon, and Red Rock. Justin Hardy joins us in studio with the details. Justin, what does this mean for our region?
Well, Ryan, our federal representatives are telling us that this is going to bring a lot of opportunities for the region and for the country as a whole. Canada is trying to position itself to be a global leader as a producer of a wide variety of critical minerals. This funding is intended to support the mining projects in our region, mainly through improvements to infrastructure. Canada's Minister of Energy and Natural Resources, Jonathan Wilkinson, made a stop in the city to announce funding for 4 critical mineral projects in the region. Pending final due diligence from Natural Resources Canada, the funding is coming from the Critical Mineral Infrastructure Fund. Wilkinson says supporting projects like these puts Canada in a good position to be a global leader in a wide variety of critical minerals, including lithium and copper.
The long-term demand for lithium is only going up as we see more and more batteries being produced for a range of applications, not just for cars. So the long-term prospects for lithium are very strong. Part of the problem that we have in a number of critical minerals areas, not just lithium, is that there is a high degree of concentration of control in one country. And there has been in the past a number of manipulations of the market.
Certainly climate change is real, and to address climate change we have to transition away from fossil fuels to alternative sources of energy. And certainly for that, lithium is really important, both for batteries for vehicles but also for storage.
The funding focuses on road and electrical infrastructure for the mineral projects in this region. $5.5 million will go to Green TM Resources to upgrade 112 kilometers of existing roads and replacing 3 bridges near Armstrong. $6.1 million is going to Frontier Lithium to advance Indigenous engagement and engineering for a 56-kilometer all-season road and electricity infrastructure for the Pac Lithium project north of Red Lake. RockTech is getting $1.4 million for their project in Red Rock, and Generation Mining near Marathon will get $771,000. MP Patty Haidu says this funding will benefit the region greatly.
These are great projects for the riding, not just obviously for the revenue that it's going to generate for the region, but also for the jobs and the opportunities. I mentioned skilled trades. We've got a number of different industries that are represented in any one of these mines, and it's an opportunity for people to, if they don't have the skills, have something to target their skilled training towards, to be more certain when they're pursuing those kinds of careers that there is going to be actually work in the field.
Wilkinson will be traveling east to Sudbury on Tuesday for a similar announcement for the Northeast. Justin Hardy, TBT News.
It's a big night at City Hall as staff are asking Council for a major increase to the Affordable Rental Housing Funding Program. If Council approves it, up to $4 million from the Renew Thunder Bay Reserve Fund will be used as the city waits for more federal housing money. The move would help build 130 new affordable units and 114 market-priced units throughout the city. That would be accomplished by providing more than $5.5 million to 6 nonprofit and Indigenous organizations. The estimated total value of the builds is $52 million. City project manager Summer Stevenson explains how these chosen projects can secure funding.
Caveat with all of this funding is that when these organizations sign the agreement with the city, they have 12 months to secure a building permit. After 12 months, we can say either this project is almost there and you will extend it, or we say, let's take a break. Maybe there's another project in the city somewhere that is shovel ready. But we are expecting all of these projects to receive a building permit within 12 months.
Stevenson says any of the money that isn't used will simply be returned to the Renew Thunder Bay Fund.
The next phase of community consultation that'll shape the future of Thunder Bay's municipal government is now open. The Council Composition Committee has released its second public survey, looking at 2 potential options. The first would see 4 wards with similar population and median income numbers, with 2 councillors per ward. There would also be 2 at-large representatives plus the mayor. The second option features an entirely at-large system, with 10 councillors elected by all voters plus the mayor. The survey asks the public what they think of each option and what specific issues they may address. But Council Composition Committee Vice Chair Cody Fraser notes the public feedback could lead to other options.
If we get a lot of feedback that says, the two councillors in a ward is too confusing, we don't get it, we don't want this. We don't think all at large is best. We want to redraw the ward configurations. Why don't we have more options? Then maybe we look at it. But I think ultimately it's important to recognize that taking all the feedback that we got so far and compiling what we've done came to this conclusion. It was a lot of work to get there.
The survey is open until October 28th on Thunder Bay's Get Involved website. Physical copies are also available at City Hall and the public libraries.
A man who was convicted of committing manslaughter more than 3 years ago when he was 17 years old won't be sentenced as an adult. On April 30th, 2021, Thunder Bay police were called to the Limbrick Street area. Officers found the victim, 18-year-old Liam Slipperjack, with severe injuries to his face and head, and he died in hospital a few days later. The young offender and another suspect, 22-year-old Desmond Kiwekapow, both pleaded guilty to manslaughter in January of this year. Kiwekapow was sentenced to 5.5 years in jail. The Crown applied for the youth to be sentenced as an adult as well, but the judge has ruled against that. The maximum manslaughter sentenced for a youth is 3 years, and the suspect has already spent more than 3 years in custody. The sentencing has been delayed to ensure an appropriate plan is in place upon his release.
Thunder Bay firefighters rescued someone from a County Boulevard residence this morning after a mattress caught fire. Crews found out when they arrived that one person was unaccounted for. The flames were brought under control and the victim was able to be removed from the home. They were taken to hospital for smoke inhalation.
The provincial government is investing $5 million annually to help smaller communities across the province build transit services. Minister of Transportation Prabmeet Sakaria was at the Thunder Bay Transit headquarters this afternoon to make the announcement.
I'm pleased to announce the launch of the Ontario Transit Investment Fund, an innovative way and program to help Ontarians who live in rural or underserved communities access transit that meets their needs.
The goal is to fill a gap in smaller and remote communities, including First Nations, to provide public transit options. The new services could also help link municipalities with larger centres. It's up to those communities to determine their own needs and apply for money under the funding envelope. Sakaria says whether it's working to expand current services or creating new initiatives, everything is on the table.
We want to make sure that this money that is being given out is in partnership with those communities. They can, work with other municipalities. They can work with private companies or employ their own way to create a public transit system that we would support through these applications.
There's no doubt there will be a lot of people that will be looking to tap into the fund. I think it's going to be a good indication, provide us with a good indication of how much the service is needed, and we can revisit in the future.
Applications for the OTIF funding are now being accepted, with programs expected to kickstart next year.
A 33-year-old man from Mishki-Gogaming First Nation has been charged after he allegedly broke into a home in that community on Saturday and attacked 3 people with bear spray. Nishnawbe police arrested the man with assistance from the OPP. The accused had a bail hearing on Saturday and remains in custody.
High winds in the Thunder Bay area yesterday caused plenty of tree damage and several power outages. These photos taken Sunday afternoon show that the top of a large tree at Waverley Park came down on a vehicle. The windshield on the SUV was smashed. The debris had to be cleared and the vehicle was towed away. Officials with Environment Canada had issued a special weather statement for the city, and wind speeds reached as high as 76 kilometers per hour at the Thunder Bay Airport. Another big tree came down on top of a house in Westfort. All those trees and branches also caused numerous power outages. Synergy North reported nearly 2,400 customers were affected. Power was restored to all areas by 8 o'clock last night.
Thunder Bay residents joined thousands of other Canadians and laced up for a good cause yesterday.
The 28th annual CIBC Run for the Cure made its return to help raise awareness and money for breast cancer research and support. Jessica Clement was there.
Despite the cold wind, residents made their way to the Royal Canadian Legion track on Sunday with the common goal of changing the future of breast cancer forever. The 28th annual CIBC Run for the Cure saw over 260 participants who either ran, walked, or rolled 1 or 5 kilometers to show their support for those affected by breast cancer and who may be going through breast cancer treatment. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Run director Bonnie Titafronte says it's important to hold the run every year.
We see our survivors, they come out every year. We know we're making a difference at early detection, better treatments, and just more support, and just the community as itself supporting all of these women who are battling through, have already battled through, and for the ones that I'm sure are coming up, which we hope lessens every time, and we just keep continuing to do it.
Titafronte notes this year the Thunder Bay branch raised over $58,000, with the number continuing to grow. She adds that the run makes a huge difference, with the majority of the funds raised going into research.
We have many research facilities that are mostly located, of course, unfortunately, outside of our city. I know a lot of people do get concerned about that the money raised here doesn't stay in the city, but it does help all of our people that are going through breast cancer. The money comes back with the research, the advancements, the better care at our facilities, and so we continue to support it. And the money also helps with families that might need help support during their treatment.
Danny Soares, Signature Program Manager of the Canadian Cancer Society, says they're hoping to get the federal government to lower the age of getting tested for breast cancer to 40 in all provinces and territories.
So right now we are preparing a letter to the Canada Minister of Health. When cancer is detected earlier, we have more treatments available and options available for people. So the sooner we can catch it, the sooner that we can have more options available and people can live longer, fuller lives.
If you would like to donate or learn more, you can go online to cibcrunforthecure.com. Jessica Clement, TBT News.
The new owner of Bannon's Gas Bar is helping push down gas prices along City Road. As of today, Bannon's had the lowest price in Ontario. The gas station was recently purchased from the Bannon family, which operated it for the past 34 years. New owner Christopher Danielson says they wanted to do something to welcome the gas bar's longtime customers, so they dropped their price this weekend to $1.15 a litre. Danielson also owns Mountain View and First Class Gas, which followed suit. Their main competition, K&A Gas Bar, then went ahead and matched that price. The 4 gas stations are all 10 cents lower than any other station in the province. Danielson says he's happy to make that happen.
Because it is the lowest in Canada, we've decided to become more competitive with the larger mega corporations. So that's why mainly we're low, and to give back to the people. People are really happy coming here every day for cheap gas, so I'm happy to provide that.
And late this afternoon, the gas prices dropped again to $1.10 at Bannon's and $1.11 at Danielson's other gas stations.
Professional and amateur photographers across the Northwest captured some spectacular images of the Northern Lights last night as swirls of red and green danced across the night sky. Chris Tafe took these photos and sent them to tbnewswatch.com. The mesmerizing show was due to the latest geomagnetic storm as the sun approaches the height of its 11th year cycle. This photo was taken by an OPP officer in Pickle Lake. The Northern Lights are normally only visible in the upper parts of the hemisphere, but this display could be seen in the northern U.S. as well. Fortunately for aurora chasers, there will be many more chances to catch the light show. Electromagnetic activity is still increasing, with the sun expected to reach the height of its solar cycle in 2025.